Okay, so we're moving on with the design to solve a problem in engineering, which the girls ran into at the library meetup the other day for coding, where this bucket kept snagging on the carpet when the car went forward these tines. So the question was how to put a motor here somewhere that will lift this bucket up. It doesn't have to be very much in order to not catch on the carpet. Yesterday I showed using this motor to just do our initial testing to see if we could make a servo work, positional servo, and we did that. And today we're looking at an actual gear assembly to move eventually an angle beam like this connected to the bucket to lift it up. So our increments are much smaller. We don't need a 90-degree movement. What we've got are much smaller increments. Using this BST Mbed app and the Boom motor driver. You'll notice that this is a different design servo, smaller and lighter weight than this one that we showed yesterday. This servo has 3 wires and it actually is connected to a single gear right in here, and that gear is connected to one of the other 2 gears, and then this gear is connected to this gear. This gear is not connected to the main drive gear. It doesn't need to be. This gear functions off of this gear. When this one turns, and then this one follows on. That's the concept here. We should be able to do something like that, even simpler for this bucket. Now, why does this interest kids? We saw a lot of interest the other day. Right here. If you look up the biology of the human being, you'll find a lot of brain power is devoted to make this thing work so we can assemble things with our hands. We can learn all kinds of handcrafts. I asked chat about this subject, and it says although the thumb only represents 1 to 2, let's see if I can go back, % of your body mass, there are many times that much devoted to sensory and processing. My question was, what part of the human brain controls our thumbs and how much of it? And the answer is a huge amount. I'm reading that probably the human brain developed with the thumb at the same time. In other words, the thumb development motivated the brain to develop to control the thumb. That's one of the theories. When you look at the amount of the brain that's devoted to thumb function, as opposed to other animals which don't have, most of them don't have opposable thumbs. And so therefore, there is a lot of personal satisfaction, emotional gratification using our hands, whether it's in auto mechanics or sewing, anything in between. Kids are fascinated when they can put things together, assemble kits, and then make them actually work. We're going to continue on with this. We now have a drive system with a servo, positional drive system. We already have our DC motors that run the wheels. Now we have a positional drive system that can lift the bucket up and down, or just attach grabber angle beams. And then we can move forward with our coding And by the way, I'll put a link to the code in the description of this video. I've reduced my increments from yesterday. My values are much smaller than they were yesterday, 15 and 5 and 20, because I don't need large expansions to raise and lower this bucket. Just a small amount of increment will prevent the bucket from dragging on the carpet as the car moves. So don't forget to look in the description of the video. There'll be a link to this code. Much more complicated than what we need. This is what we're focused on right here. So there will be more.